Hello everybody, and welcome back to Certified Collectibles. This is another episode of First Appearance of the Week. This is Wednesday, February 1st, 2023. We'll be giving you all the first appearance in your comic shops today. Now this week we have a pretty light video for you guys. I think we have 10 titles altogether, 2 first appearances, 8 honorable mentions. There's definitely some books in there you guys should pick up for your collection. So let's go ahead and get started for the first appearances of the week ending February 3rd, 2023. First up from Marvel Comics, Silver Surfer Ghostlight number 1. This features the first appearance of Ghostlight, formerly Al Harper, who was introduced and died in Silver Surfer number 5 back in 1969. Now, there's great speculation that Silver Surfer is definitely going to appear in one of the new upcoming Marvel movies. So anything new coming out Silver Surfer related from Marvel Comics is one you definitely want to pick up for your collection. You really don't know what Marvel has planned for Silver Surfer in the MCU, but the fact that they're starting to release new titles that feature first appearance of new characters, you don't want to miss out on these. If these characters appear on the big screen, everybody's going to race back and chase these first appearances in the comics. These are books you want to own at the cover price. Go ahead and grab this one here for your collection. And finally from Archie Comics, Archie's Valentine's Spectacular. This features the first appearance of Casey Cloud, a pretty girl with an interest in hanging out with the nerdy crowd. Now, there is a huge fan base out there for Archie Comics, and this is the first appearance of a new character within this Archie universe. Now, whether this character goes forward in the Archie titles, or if they just exist in this particular Valentine's special, has yet to be seen. But, you know, there is a big collector base out there for the Archie titles. These are a little bit more speculative. Some of them do go up in price in the secondary market, and some of them are worth holding on to, but some of them really don't go anywhere. So this one here is going to be a little bit more speculative if you choose to pick it up. So grab this one here if you can. If you can't, though, put it in your B-list and keep an eye on it. And now for the honorable mentions. From Image Comics, Almighty number 1. This is a 5-issue limited series about a killer hired to rescue an abducted girl in a future America ravaged by economic collapse and a mysterious environmental disaster. Now this one here sounds like it's going to sell very well to a small screen or big screen project, and Image Comics has had a lot of their titles picked up and optioned in the past. Like we always tell you guys, when these stories are optioned for TV shows, streaming series, or feature films, they become a huge deal. People race back and try to get the comics. Oftentimes then though, they've already missed the boat. You definitely want to pick these up at the cover price. So this one here, in our opinion, is a great spec bet. Grab it if you can. If you can't, put in your B-list, but definitely keep an eye on this one. Next up from AWA Upshot, Black Tape number 1. The widow of a dead rock star is in possession of her husband's final heavy metal masterpiece that just might open a doorway to hell. Now, once again, sounds like it lends itself very well to a TV show, streaming series, or feature film. AWA Upshot hasn't had a lot of their titles picked up and optioned in the past, so this one here is going to be a little bit more speculative. But once again, if these are picked up and they go forward, people do race back and try to pick these up in the secondary market. But once again, you know, it is too late. You want to get these at the cover price. Being that this is an AWA Upshot title, this is going to be a little more speculative. Pick it up if you can. If you can't, put in your B-list and keep an eye on it. Next up from Image Comics, Blood Tree number 1. 2 obsessed NYPD detectives hunt the angel killer, a sociopath who preys on the innocent family members of known murderers in order to purify the rest of society. Now, like we just said before, with Image Comics, they've had a lot of their titles picked up and optioned in the past, and this one sounds like it lends itself very well to a small screen, big screen project. Now, with all these small press and indie publishers, these are definitely speculative if you choose to pick them up. You're just betting on them getting picked up and optioned for a small screen, big screen project, which will get a lot more eyes on these titles, get a lot more people interested in them, send everybody chasing these in the secondary market. So this is speculative if you choose to pick it up, but once again, in our opinion, it's probably a good spec bet. Image Comics has had a good track record. So grab this one here if you can. If you can't, put in your B-list and keep an eye on it. Next up from IDW, Breath of Shadows number 1. A successful musician in the 1960s attempts to quit drugs via a controversial method in the jungles of South America, but is instead confronted with horrors beyond his wildest nightmares. Now, once again, sounds like it lends itself very well to a TV show, streaming series, or feature film, and IDW has had a lot of their titles picked up and optioned in the past. The story sounds easily translatable to the screen, but once again, it will be speculative if you choose to pick it up. Grab it if you can. If you can't, put it in your B-list and keep an eye on it. Next up from Mad Cave, Tales from Nottingham number 1. Now this is an anthology of stories that explore the origins of Robin Hood and the Merry Men, Marion's violent past, and Aya of the Hashashin's first kill that will lead into volume 3 of the series. Now this here sounds like it lends itself very well to a small screen, big screen project. Mad Cave hasn't had a lot of their titles picked up an option in the past, so this one here is definitely going to be a little bit more speculative than some of the other titles. You may have a little bit more time on this one than some of the other ones. Put this one here on your B-list for now, but keep an eye on it. Next up from Dark Horse Comics, Where Monsters Lie number 1. A survivor of slasher movie murderers hones his skills to confront these villains and discovers a gated community called Wilhurst, where the creatures of horror films live in between killing sprees. Now this story sounds very interesting, and Dark Horse Comics has had a lot of their titles picked up in option in the past, so this one here may very well go somewhere just because the story does sound very original. This will be speculative if you choose to pick it up, but this might be a good bet. Grab this one here if you can. If you can't, put it on your B-list and keep an eye on it. Next up from Marvel Comics, Avengers number 65. This features the origin of Avenger Prime. Now with the Marvel titles, we always recommend picking up first appearance of new characters, new costumes, new superpowers, and origin stories. Now, Avenger Prime isn't really one of the A-list characters for Marvel Comics or in the MCU, so this origin story may or may not be all that important. It really depends on what Marvel plans for this particular character going forward. You know, the MCU is moving into Phase 5, and who knows, Avenger Prime may be a big character in these new feature films. We really won't know until they come out, but by then it'll be too late. This is going to be a little bit more speculative if you choose to pick it up. It is an origin story. It is the Avengers standalone title series, so it does have some positives going for it. But once again, a little bit more speculative if you choose to pick it up. Grab it if you can. If you can't, put it in your B-list and keep an eye on it. And finally for Marvel Comics, Star Wars Son of Staros number 1. This is the first solo series featuring Son of Staros. Now, we always say this with these Marvel published Star Wars titles, it's always worth picking these up when they have first appearance of new characters. This is not necessarily the first appearance of Son of Staros, this is the first solo title series. Oftentimes, Marvel will slip in first appearance of new characters in these premiere standalone title series as they break off from the main series. So this one here may be worth picking up for a spec bet. It might be worth doing a little bit more research, see if there's a little bit more meat to this particular book before you pick it up. But once again, Marvel published Star Wars titles are usually worth holding in your collection, and this is the premiere issue of this new spin-off series. So this one here may be worth picking up for the cover price. Go ahead and grab it if you can. If you can't, put it on your B-list and keep an eye on it. So there you have the 10 titles that we have for you guys this week. Definitely some books in there worth picking up for your collection. So please feel free to drop some comments in the comment section below. Thumbs up if you like this video. And as always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Certified Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.